If you are afraid of stepping in your full power, let Olandria be your inspiration. Olandria has shown us what is possible when a woman chooses herself over and over again. I mean, in a short time, in a short period, Olandria has done things that not many people could do in 2 years, in a year actually. One thing that's amazing about Olandria is that she relates to so many women, yet she has shown that she is truly a queen. This woman is unstoppable. And this video is for that very woman, the woman inside of you who knows who she is. Hello, my beautiful feminine ladies. Welcome back to my channel. This is a video on Olandria Carthen, and I am speaking again on Olandria because I spoke about her once when I started my Queen Energy let's just say I started a Queen Energy movement where I was speaking about Queen Energy and femininity. And one woman that stood out to me was Olandria. And I believe this woman is so rooted in her femininity, and I just love everything about her. Today we'll be talking about how she has quantum leaped. Yes, quantum leaping is something that is not fictional. It is real. It is something that we can tune into when we actually make intentional decisions. And I believe she done that in her own way. So this is actually a strong concept because I'm not only recapping the Love Island USA drama, but I'm also speaking about Olandria Carthen as a lens to discuss about identity shift, feminine energy, alignment, and relationships. So I truly believe that quantum leaping follows a shift in identity. And honestly, tell me this is not quantum leaping when you look at Olandria's story. When Olandria entered the Love Island house, she made it very clear she desired love. She wanted a relationship rooted in she wanted a best friend. Remember the whole cowboy thing? She had this fantasy in her mind, and not a fantasy, but she had a vision about what she wanted for at the end of the house. She wanted to meet someone, and in the beginning she came across a hurdle with Taylor, and she liked him, but things did not work out because Taylor wanted to pursue someone else. And we can respect him for that, but that also then allows us to look at alignment. The situation deeply hurt her, and she was emotional, she was disappointed, and honestly, many women could relate to the feeling of wanting something so badly and not being chosen in the way you expected to. So to me, when she then started to align with Nick, I felt like at that point in time, and this is something that I speak about in an energetic way, this was like the universe was aligning her with her core partner, someone who is her soulmate. And I feel like Nick and Olandria always had this gravitating pull towards one another. I saw their chemistry. I witnessed Nick showing his level of interest towards Olandria, but I understand why they closed that door and they kept closing it. But guess what happens when the universe is on your side? Things are going to always circle back to that person or that thing or that situation. So she even said it herself. We keep circling back to one another. Why? There has to be a reason. Life kept aligning her back to Nick. So this, in my idea of quantum leaping, is when you are being aligned with your higher self is aligning with you with your soulmate. And I believe that Nick is the best partner for Olandria in this phase of her life because she is very focused and she's about growth and she needs someone. And if she was to need someone, because I don't believe she needs a person, but if she was to be with someone, she would need someone who would be her cheerleader, who would be sort of this armor around her, not even in a financial sense, but more so in a way of I have someone backing me. And a lot of people who successful, are very lonely. So I feel like she really met her soulmate in Nick, and I'm just mentioning that. And yes, many people doubted them. Many people believed their relationship would never last outside the house. But they are still together. And not only are they together, but they are both thriving. That is why I personally believe that some relationships exist on a soul level. I believe that when you are truly elevating and stepping into alignment with your higher self, your soul naturally guides you toward people who are meant to support your expansion and not to suppress it. And to me, that is exactly what Nick represents in Olandria's life. You can tell she is with someone who aligns with her spirit because she is not regressing in the relationship. She's expanding. And I think this is important because people do not talk enough about how relationships can either elevate you or drain you. For example, when I watched the Beyond the Villa episodes involving Clark and Taylor, I noticed Clark expressing that she felt held back. She wanted to pursue her own opportunities and growth. And now Taylor's talking about how he wants to pursue his things and he just wants support. But there seemed to be tension around that. And it made me realize something. If a woman is not elevating in her relationship, if she feels herself shrinking or suppressing herself or constantly struggling to become who she's meant to be, then that relationship may not be aligned with her higher self. Sometimes what we think is love is actually a karmic cycle. And when you think about Olandria in the house, she was going through a lot of karmic cycles. And I feel like even outside of the house, she was. I mean, she's no longer in a friendship with Shelly, but I don't think there was any bad blood between them. I just feel like they don't align anymore. And it's okay for us not to align with one another because on a soul level, we are growing as individuals. And if we understand that on a soul level, if I don't align with a person, it's not personal. It's nothing bad. If I don't agree with you, if I don't feel like where you are going is where I'm going, then we shouldn't take it personally. It just means that our paths are different and we should both honor that and respect one another and honor how we were able to impact in each other's life. Because real alignment does not force you to abandon yourself. Now, I want to talk about Olandria outside of the house because I think she is on fire. Baby girl is killing it in all facets of her life. And I feel like there is a lot of inner work that comes with coming to this point in time. She spoke about, just outside of the house, we had interviews coming with all of the housemates. The villa contestants, and she spoke intently. She said it out loud. She spoke it into the universe, saying she wants to pursue modeling. And I was like, this girl is bold. She confidently said it. She spoke it out loud, and she never hid her desires. And I think that is important because many people are afraid to declare the life they truly want. But Olandria spoke her future into existence. And with that, opportunities began unfolding rapidly for her. Campaigns, fashion shows, magazine covers, partnerships, global visibility. Things started happening almost out of nowhere. But honestly, I don't think it came out of nowhere. I believe it was manifestation meeting alignment. I remember her speaking in the house about how she was praying to God and asking God to if this was the right path, if going to the house was the right path, because she even said it, is this truly a good path for me? I think in one of the interviews, she was talking to Miley Cyrus's mom, and she said she prayed about going into the house. And even though entering the house, the villa, did not fully align with her personality, her values, the image people may have had of her, she still felt called to it. So also on a level of quantum leaping, or maybe even when you talk on a soul level, sometimes you're going to feel called to move into a direction, and it's not necessarily because that thing is meant to you're meant to win in that thing or what, but it just means you're supposed to take this path. And sometimes quantum leaping looks exactly like something that scares us. Sometimes it means answering a call that scares you. Sometimes it means stepping into an environment that stretches you. Sometimes it means trusting that there is a version of you waiting on the other side of that discomfort. And what is beautiful is that you could literally watch her identity shifting in real time within that house. She became brave. She stood up for herself. And I mean, when I say stood up for herself, Olandria didn't allow the pain, the things she was going through to just take over her. She was vulnerable, and vulnerability is something that allows people to connect with you. That's why we love her so much, because she was so vulnerable about who she is and about how she feels about life, and she was so real. The Olandria we saw at the beginning is not the same woman we see now. She has become more composed, more grounded. She's more detached, more intentional, and more confident in her femininity and energy. But there is a balance to it. There is a striking balance to this woman. She is so caring at that. She has a heart. She knows how to show the boundaries, and then also she knows how to let people in. And I don't know if she received some kind of training, but that is something that needs to be studied, because many people who become well known, they lose the essence of being human and understanding that you need to take people on the journey with you. But one thing I've also noticed is that she stopped trying so hard to please everyone. She's developed boundaries. As I mentioned, she's become a queen within her energy. And honestly, even the name Bama Barbie feels symbolic to me, because it reflects the internal work she has done within herself. She is a Barbie, and a Barbie has to go through transformation. It reflects a woman stepping fully into her identity and owning it unapologetically. Another thing I love is the people she aligned with after the show. A lot of people fear that success will bring them fake people who block their growth. But Olandria seems surrounded by individuals who genuinely support and elevate her and elevate one another. Her team feels aligned. But let's speak about what you attract is what you are. Olandria is a person who uplifts individuals. I mean, in the house, she was a girl's girl. She was pushing for all the girls to feel content within themselves. And even outside of the house, you can see it. She's a person who draws, she understands that, not even understands, I feel like it's just something that comes naturally to her. She has a heart for people. She has something called humility, and her team is deeply aligned with that. I love her team. I mean, I watch their videos on YouTube when she posts her videos, and I watch the vlogs. I enjoy looking at the two guys who are working with her in terms of her fashion. I forgot their names, but I love those two guys. I love their energy. I love how they allow Olandria to shine. I love how there's no fakeness. I love everything about it. So yeah, her team is deeply aligned to who she is, and you can feel that even there is appreciation they have for one another's gifts. You can feel the support, the gratitude, the love. And I love how Olandria always finds a way to bring people along in her journey. That to me is queen energy. Queen energy is not just about beauty. It's not about aesthetics. It's not just about attention. Queen energy is about becoming so aligned with your higher self that your life, your story draws people near. And I feel like even when you look at the transformation of Olandria and the transformation of many individuals, I always say everybody needs to embody the strength and just embody the notion of just being Christ-like. That is Christ consciousness right there. A woman who is moving in her transformation, and she is inviting other individuals to join her in that journey. People are not encouraged by Olandria because they are fans. They are more so encouraged because they see someone who has a heart, who has put her heart on her sleeve, and who is winning in life. Quantum leaping is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming fully in who you are. It's about being vulnerable, but also having balance with your character, and just knowing when to pull back and when to surrender your energy, but also knowing when to call people in and to say, you know what, I need you as much as you need me. If you enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I am back on fully with my videos. I just love talking about queen energy and femininity, and I want every single woman to win in life. I want to see this new revelation and this new revolution in our lives to happen. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If Olandria ever sees my videos, I love you, Olandria. I love everything that you are, everything you represent, and thank you for showing us as Black women and as women in general that you can be authentically yourself and shine. Love and light, guys. Bye.